The Stratford End is back, and we are back on a literal Blue Monday. It hurts to say, but Manchester is blue. It probably was expected. It probably was seen by everyone, not just us as United supporters, but everyone. I mean, I know a couple of Liverpool fans who wanted us to win, of course, for their own title challenge. But there isn't really much to say. It was disappointing, disgraceful, embarrassing. There shouldn't even be words that we can use to describe the way we played. I don't even know where to begin in terms of the entire performance from beginning to end. Truth be told, the man of the match is probably De Gea. If it wasn't for him, in various moments in the game, the score could have been more than 4-1. We could have been even further behind if it wasn't for him in the first half, let alone the second half. And it's really shameful. And like I said, it hurts as a United supporter because we don't expect to see such incompetence on the field. We don't expect to see such clueless professionals on the field. And that's amazing if you think about it, because how is it possible that all of these players that play and the two that came from the bench, and we'll get to speaking about them a bit later, but nobody did anything apart from Pogba and Sancho and De Gea. And I say Pogba and Sancho because the two of them played beautifully for Sancho's goal. And we thought that would have been a nice kickstart, equalizing, taking a bit of the wind out of City, but the City they weren't really fazed by the fact that they conceded. Us, on the other hand, we concede and heads drop, players start falling around, they don't even motivate to scream at each other to try and keep the intensity up. Everybody just gave up. Unforgivable, inexcusable. There's no way that not in a normal game against West Ham or Leeds, etc., you give up. But to do so in a derby, that means so much to fans, but more so to the players, to the circumstances where we find ourselves in the league, being kicked out of the top four after Arsenal winning against Watford. We should have been up for it. We should have been able to deal with the pressure and the intensity of the game. But a few of the players couldn't care less about where we would lay up at the end of the season. They couldn't care less about the ramifications of a 4-1 drubbing to City. They probably just go home, do whatever, relax, and just focus on when they have to be at training again. There's no pride, no sense of self-pride. I mean, they are professionals after all, aren't they? They should have a professional standard as an individual, let alone as a team. Do we even call them a team? We are so inconsistent. We don't know what we're going to be from game to game. Ragnick's tactics, yes, might be questioned because we ended up playing with a false nine. No Ronaldo, no Cavani. But it's like these players had no clue what to do whatsoever. In the first 20 minutes, I would say, even though we conceded early to De Bruyne, we seemed to have a sense of control. We looked decent. We were good defensively and also pressing them in the right areas, winning the ball back in our counter press when we played a O press. And then O press is basically when Bruno, Elanga, Sancho, McTominay, and Fred, along with Pogba, all create a circle and try to trap City into playing a ball through the middle. 3 or 4 times it worked, but we were not able to finish. We didn't show a killer instinct. And like I said, after Sancho equalized, a beautiful pass by Pogba, Sancho using Bruno after he made a gut busting run on his outside, uses him as a decoy, cuts inside and places it past Edison beautifully. We thought that would have been a kickstart. We thought that was going to be the turning point for us. To be fair, after that, we looked well. We looked decent. We seemed to look good on the ball. We had good moments of possession, good, clean, quick play through City, but we were unable to finish and have that final pass in the final third, you know, fall for us in order for us to score. Nearly moments where Fred could have scored, but good defending by City to keep us out. And then for the second goal of City, I'm not sure, but I said this, Maguire should not have started. That was clear as daylight. He only started because he was the captain, and Varane, and Shaw were said to have tested positive for COVID. So all the best of luck to them in their recovery. But Maguire should not have started. I would have rather had Bailly play next to Lindelof. Yes, Bailly can be calamitous. Yes, he can be a bit erratic in his defending. But at least I know he's going to defend. At least I know he's going to tackle. At least I know he's going to get the ball out when he needs to. Maguire, after the gear makes a brilliant save, he does some weird dummy move, assuming one of his teammates is behind him, lets the ball roll through his legs. It gets intercepted. A simple pass, and De Bruyne puts it away. 2-1. Okay. A bit of bad luck for the deflections, landing at the feet of De Bruyne. And we seemed decent after that as well. We didn't seem like we were in any panic mode. But then we assumed that, when the second half starts, we would be better. That we would be able to, attack them, go forward, have a fresh mindset, fresh energy for the second half. It was a training ground session for City in the second half. We were nowhere to be seen. Second best at everything. Chasing the ball, not even knowing where City's players were when they were running off the ball. We were not winning anything in the air. Defensively, we were a shambles. Our midfield was non-existent. The forward line disappeared completely. I guess we could have probably gone home, especially after the third goal. Nobody's marking Mahrez, just like in the first goal for De Bruyne. Nobody was marking him in the box. Absolutely abysmal defending. Now, I'm not saying it's Maguire's fault. Wan-Bissaka had a poor game. Lindelof had a bad game. Maguire, absolutely awful. Telles, okay in certain moments, but again, also, not very good defensively. De Gea was the one that saved us. Hence the reason why I said before he's our man of the match. McTominay and Fred, absolutely non-existent. They weren't even defending well. No tackles made, being bypassed as if they are orange traffic cones who just stand there and do nothing. Forward line, Sancho disappeared completely in the second half. Bruno was nowhere to be seen. He was more moaning and falling than actually playing in the second half. Elanga was decent in the first half, seemed like a real threat for us going forward, but got taken off. Rashford and Lingard being brought on, done absolutely nothing. They could have stayed on the bench for all I care. There was a moment where Rashford was having a conversation with Mata and Lingard in between. Who knows what he was saying there? But all in all, it seems as if these players just didn't care. After 3-1, after Mahrez scores, we gave up. These players didn't care to run back to defend. They didn't care to close down with intensity. They didn't care to fight. There was no fight. There was no urgency. There was no pride for the badge itself. There was no self-pride. And they didn't really care about the fans that paid the tickets to be at the Etihad. Difficult for them to take, considering the City supporters doing some weird European Poznan celebration in the crowd, which they stole from, Spanish teams and German teams. Bunch of plastic fans, in my opinion. Their stadium is never that full. Yeah, I do sound bitter, but their stadium is never full for normal games. The moment they play a big team, oh, their stadium is sold out. That tells you it all. They're a bunch of plastic fans just riding the success that Pep has brought them. But kudos to them. They are a very good team with a very, very good coach, if not the best coach in the modern generation. And I admire City's players for the way that they run off the ball, for the way that they fight, their urgency, their intensity to get more, to continue to fight, even though they are leading. Our players were spineless, absolutely emotionless. They couldn't, as I said, they couldn't care less. They just have no respect whatsoever. And I lost respect for some of them as well. Just like Roy Keane said, there's players in there that should never play for United again. And I agree with him. Maguire, Fred, McTominay, Wan-Bissaka, Lingard, etc. These players are not good enough to even play for a mid-table club. Maguire, when he was at Leicester, was this good defender. We haven't even seen it. He's got 1 or 2 good games and he thinks he's made it. That tells you itself the lack of mentality that he has. We are not good enough. We don't deserve top 4. We were battered, destroyed, embarrassed, disgraced. This is a very hurtful time to be a Man United supporter. But for those that have been here since the beginning of their lives, we continue to support. As I said, we will rise again. I did say that we were going to win. That's my general optimism, my general excitement. Of course, I would expect us to win. We are Manchester United. It's what we're supposed to be doing. But it's the truth. We need a new structure. We need a new coach. Erik ten Hag is the answer. Rangnick has said this. Scholes said it's not going to change until we get the right man in place. Please get Ten Hag. We need him. We need his structure, his style of play, his drive, his tactics, his vision to make a club compete at the highest level. We need him. Nobody else is the answer. I don't think Pochettino will do a good job. And I don't think anyone else is suited. I think Erik ten Hag is the perfect coach and candidate to take us forward. Thank you guys for watching the video. That is all that there is to really say after an abysmal performance. Spurs next will be once again a tough encounter. We're playing at Old Trafford though. It is an advantage for us, and it is more than 3 points for us right now. Every game is a final. Rangnick was upset in his press conference, and that explains it all. We need more from these players. If we don't get more from them, as I've said, we don't deserve top 4. Continue to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We at least want to reach 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. It is possible. Share it to all your Manchester United supporters out there. We love the support that you give us, and we definitely love you. That is it, me, Sashin Johnson from the Stretford End. Have a lovely week till we speak again soon. Goodbye.